Top 25 Women of Influence Awards celebrate the achievements of role models and spotlight outstanding women leaders who have catalyzed significant change over the past year. Lindsay Glasgow is a passionate advocate who centers some of the most vulnerable populations in her work. As the current president and CEO of Plan International Canada, her work is a powerful example of how dedication and visionary leadership can create significant positive changes for people and communities worldwide. Risa Amanii is a social activist and public speaker known for the impactful work she does with youth engagement in health spaces. She is the executive director of the Young Canadians Roundtable on Health and uses her personal experience with health inequity to advocate for the improved healthcare support for Canada's youth and children. Dr. Anna Bannery is a pioneer in refugee health and the founder of the North American Refugee Health Conference in Canada. As a physician, educator, and researcher, she applies a human rights framework to inform her advocacy, with a focus on refugee and Indigenous populations. She has been working with refugee children for most of her career and established the Costi Pediatric Clinic. Jennifer Bishop is a prominent lawyer and former elite athlete who is passionate about advancing gender equity in sports. She is a partner at Aird & Burles LLP and is the chair of the Doug Philpott Inter-City Children's Tennis Federation, the only tennis charity in Canada dedicated exclusively to children in priority needs neighborhoods, serving over 8,500 participants each year. Bernice Carnegie is the co-founder and president of the Carnegie Initiative. Through her work with the organization, she continues to drive her father Herb Carnegie's contribution to hockey and Canadian history forward. As an international speaker and author, Bernice has a remarkable talent for storytelling, illuminating the struggles and triumphs of her ancestral journey, igniting a flame of understanding and the importance of inclusion and appreciation for diverse histories and experiences. Ivon Chan is an occupational healthcare industry expert and the founder and CEO of Santé Circle Health. After facing her own challenges in advocating for herself following a serious accident, she has turned her experience into a mission. Ivon focuses on guiding others through their recovery journey, merging her healthcare expertise with a passion for empowering individuals with disabilities. Allison Clark is the National Manager of Mental Health for Game Plan, a total athlete wellness program for Canada's 1,800 Olympic and Paralympic athletes and other nationally carded athletes. Her work focuses on mental health, mental illness, and mental performance. Lee is passionate about increasing the health status of Indigenous peoples. Her advocacy efforts have amplified the importance of decolonized, trauma-informed, gender-based, and community-informed healthcare. Gabby Debrowski is a top-ranked tennis player, currently ranked 5th in women's doubles on the Women's Tennis Association Tour, and part of the first Canadian duo to win a Grand Slam in women's doubles at the US Open. She uses her platform to work with high-impact charities that significantly impact those in need around the world. Simind Dylan is the CEO and co-founder of Fentagon, a medical technology company whose mission is to reduce street-level overdoses amid the opioid epidemic and spearhead innovation in the field of harm reduction. Alongside her crucial work, she passionately advocates for a shift in how we perceive and discuss addiction, aiming to transform the narrative into one of understanding and support. Angela Diano is the Executive Director of Alpha One Canada Inc., a national not-for-profit organization that advocates on behalf of Canadians affected by alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, a genetic condition that can cause lung and liver damage. After 6 years of raising awareness about this disease, Angela helped get alpha-1 category approved by provincial and territorial governments, guaranteeing equitable access to treatment for patients. Christiana Eggy is a dementia advocate and has owned and operated Alexis Lodge retirement residences for over 25 years. With a focus on person-centered care, her organization is dedicated to making a meaningful difference in the lives of those affected by Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. She is deeply committed to challenging and eliminating the stigma associated with dementia and mental illness. Dr. Pamela Fletcher is the founder and executive director of the Grow Community Food Literacy Centre, Canada's first community food literacy centre. Her work is transformative, aiming to dismantle systems of power perpetuating inequality. She focuses on lifting the voices of historically marginalized communities and tackling the systemic obstacles that disproportionately impact single, women-led households, especially those grappling with food insecurity. Jennifer Flanagan is a national leader and a force in changing the face of science, engineering, and technology in Canada. As the co-founder of ACTUA, her work engages 375,000 youth annually, helping to redefine the future of STEM education and the science and technology workforce by empowering young minds across Canada to reach their full potential. Tori Ford is an outspoken patient advocate, feminist researcher, and the founder of Medical Her Story. She's completing a doctorate of philosophy in primary health care at the University of Oxford. At the helm of her international award-winning nonprofit, Tori is on a mission to eliminate sexism, shame, and stigma from health experiences. Vanessa Jenner is the CEO and founder of Quilts for Survivors, a grassroots initiative that honors survivors of Indian residential schools, Indian day schools, the 60s scoop, and other traumas suffered by Indigenous peoples. Under Vanessa's leadership, she and her team have presented over 4,500 quilts to survivors across Canada in a spirit of healing, truth, and reconciliation. Meseret Haley-Jesus is a multi-award-winning thought leader, social entrepreneur, and innovator who works on economic and health equity transformations through evidence, policy influencing, and system change. Advocating for Bill 41, Meseret is the first Canadian who called for national and international response to economic justice policies. Nikisa Kumal is the founder of Hoop Queens, a non-profit organization that created Canada's first ever paid league for women's basketball. She is on a mission to change the narrative of women in sport and inspire women everywhere to confidently create their own lanes. Dr. Victoria Lee is the president and CEO of Fraser Health, one of the largest health service delivery systems in Canada. Before joining Fraser Health, Dr. Lee collaborated with national and international organizations such as the United Nations Development Programme and the World Bank in areas of development, human rights, health, and climate. She bridges cultural divides to foster an environment of innovation, inclusivity, and impact. Dr. Addy Mashan is the founder and director of the Cybersecurity Research Lab at Toronto Metropolitan University and is a Canada Research Chair. Recognized as a leading expert in cryptography, blockchain technology, information security, and privacy in the cybersecurity industry, Dr. Mashan pays it forward by being an advocate and champion for women in STEM. Geetha Murthy is a dedicated champion for positive change and is the founder of the South Asian Autism Awareness Centre, which supports over 800 families from diverse backgrounds across 3 facilities in Scarborough, Ontario. Through the centre, Geetha creates empowering job opportunities and strives to eradicate the stigma surrounding autism. Oran Pan is the co-founder and CEO of Microhabitat, an urban farming company that optimizes urban spaces through the production of fresh food. With more than 250 farms across North America, Oran and her team deploy projects with strong environmental, social, and economic impacts in collaboration with businesses, schools, and institutions. She is creating an impactful green movement that supports local communities, economies, and the environment. Lynn Puisin is at the forefront of advancing women's brain health, targeting the needs of women, caregivers, and families. As the founder, president, and CEO of Women's Brain Health Initiative, her charity raises awareness about the inequity in women's brain aging research, funding, and the creation of evidence-informed preventative health education programs for a greater understanding by the public of the best ways to prolong their cognitive vitality. Martina is deeply committed to using her experience and position to bridge the gap between the 2S LGBTQ+ community and the workplace. As an active community member, she uses her voice to illuminate the realities that members of this community face and works to create an environment that makes people feel seen and valued. Tina Singh is the founder and CEO of Bold Helmets. She revolutionized safety gear by creating the first certified multi-sport helmet for Sikh children who maintain their hair. Drawing on her background as an occupational therapist specializing in head and brain injuries, Tina recognized the need for a practical helmet solution. Determined, she designed a product that finally met the needs of her community. Dr. Ingred Waldron is an award-winning professor and researcher whose work addresses the health and mental health impacts of social inequalities and discrimination in Black, Indigenous, and other racialized communities. Raising awareness around climate change and environmental racism, Dr. Waldron has played an instrumental role in co-developing the first Environmental Racism Private Members Bill for Nova Scotia, Bill 111. Zoe Williams is a prominent voice in the world of aviation and is an active volunteer with a focus on underserved communities and racialized groups. Throughout her career, Zoe has been an airport ramp worker, college flight instructor and lecturer, remote northern pilot, and airline pilot. She is now a first officer on a Boeing 777 with Air Canada and is the first Black woman pilot at the airline, breaking barriers and reinforcing the importance of representation. Influence for us is measured by impact. Congratulations to the 2024 Top 25 Women of Influence recipients, and thank you for the impact you are making.